Hello viewers, welcome back. Couple of days back, Tally is released 4.1, the latest release which is made available for download. So the major highlight of this release is related to MSME outstanding report. So couple of videos I will be covering on the features of MSME, major feature that Tally is provided. Before we go into Tally's product and see how the MSME reporting has been provided and how do we configure them. First, in this video, we will understand the basic fundamentals of the MSME Act, which is talking about the delayed payment, and also the new section that is introduced through Finance Act 2023, which is again related to MSME outstanding payment. So this I am covering for some of the users who are not aware of the nitty-gritties of these two aspects related to MSME. I'll be covering at the primary level or at the fundamental level. For any additional information, there are lots of videos that are available for you to dive deep into these aspects of it. So let us now understand the fundamentals of these two aspects. Introducing TallyPrime Release 4.1. TallyPrime's latest release 4.1 is now available for download. Let us quickly walk through the features provided in this release. The major feature covered in this release is simplified MSME payments. The features are MSME status and track pending bills, the details of overdue MSME payments for Form MSME 1 is available, and complying with 43BH section of Income Tax Act is also available with the data points. Last but not least, an MSME can now print their Udyam registration on their invoice. Other enhancements are for businesses having online sales through e-commerce operators such as Amazon, Myntra and Flipkart. Some changes have been introduced in GSTR 1 related to the reporting of online sales. To support these changes, in this release, Tally has come up with an e-commerce summary to highlight the following. Details of online sales through e-commerce summary report and GST invoice sales for the e-commerce operators. How do we upgrade to latest release? The simple way to upgrade to the latest release is once any new release is made available, you will get a message in the product to upgrade. From the gateway of Tally, click on the upgrade to the latest release here and select upgrade now. Within seconds, you will be upgraded to the latest release, which is release 4.1. As the enhancement is related to MSME, let us quickly know the criteria and segmentation for our understanding. Broadly, there are three segmentation, that is micro, small and medium. So what is the criteria set for these segmentation or classification? If you take the micro segment, the investment in plant and machinery or equipment should not exceed 1 crore and their annual turnover should not exceed 5 crores. In that situation, they will be classified as micro segment. The small segment, investment in plant and machinery or equipment should not exceed 10 crores and the annual turnover should not exceed 50 crores. In case of medium, the investment in plant and machinery or equipment should not exceed 50 crores and the turnover should not exceed 250 crores. So these segments fall under the MSMED Act. The large enterprises are not covered under MSME Act where their turnover exceeds 250 crore per annum. Now comes the important aspect related to MSME. There is this act of MSME Samadhaan, which is related to delayed payment monitoring system. Let us understand this act. The timeline is basically based on the receipt of goods or services by the buyer from MSME and the maximum time by which the buyer is to clear the dues to MSME. If you take the timeline as per the MSMED Act of 2006, which is covered under Section 15, it says that the buyer should make the payment within 45 days from the date of acceptance if there is an agreement of credit term. In case if there is no agreement of credit term, in such case the buyer needs to clear the dues within 15 days. The Department of MSME provides a redressal to help MSMEs to raise a complaint on defaulting parties by filing an online application. For this, they have to have a valid Udyog Aadhaar number for them to avail this facility. Council resolution. The Act prescribes that delayed payment cases will be settled within 90 days. Now let us understand the maximum credit term or the appointed date with the example. In this table, I have taken two examples, one with agreed credit period and one without any agreement. So the first one, bill is on 1st of April, the bill amount is 5 lakh. The credit period agreed, yes, both parties have agreed credit days of 60 days, but the maximum credit period as per MSME is 45 days. So the due date as per agreed credit period falls on 31st of May, but whereas the due date as per the MSME bill amount has to be cleared on or before 16th of May. In case if there is a delay, then there are consequences. Now the second invoice, if you see, is on 1st of May. The amount is 3 lakh. There is no agreement between the party, so no credit period is specified. In such case, the maximum credit period as per MSME is 15 days. The due date will be on 1st of May since there is no credit agreement, but as per MSME, the party has 15 days time to clear this bill. What is this date of acceptance? Let us understand with an example. The invoice date is 1st of February. The party is received the invoice, but the actual goods received by the parties on 20th of February. The due date of payment will be 45 days from the date of receipt of goods, which will fall on 6th of April 2024. Wherever there is delay in making payment beyond the specified timeline as discussed earlier in our use case, the buyer will have to pay penal interest. The penal interest is going to be 3 times the current RBI rate. The present rate is 6.75%. Monthly compounded interest 3 times will come up to 20.25%, which in many cases it will be greater than the net profit of the company itself. What is this form MSME 1? Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA, mandates the companies having outstanding dues to the MSMEs have to file the particulars of all current outstandings with the ROC, that is Register of Companies. Under what circumstances? Companies that have obtained goods or services from MSME and whose payments to the MSMEs exceed 45 days from the date of acceptance or deemed acceptance of goods or services. In case if there is no outstanding exceeding beyond 45 days, in such case the companies need not have to file form MSME 1. What is the periodicity to submit? The companies have to submit to ROC half yearly, and in case if they are not complying with this requirement, the non-compliance penalty attracts starting from rupees 25,000 up to a maximum of 3 lakhs with 6 months of imprisonment. This is the important aspect. The Finance Act 2023, where they have introduced this section 43B subsection H. So we will understand what does this section stipulates. I am just reproducing the section. The Finance Act inserted section 43B subsection H, which stipulates that any sum payable to MSME, which is micro, small and medium enterprises, towards supply of goods or services be deducted in the same year if it is paid with the deadline stipulated by MSMED Act 2006. Just to simplify, if any enterprises procures any goods or services from MSME and if the payment is not made within the stipulated days, which is 45 days or 15 days. In such case, the amount of the value of purchase of goods or services cannot be claimed as expenses during the financial year. There are certain criteria, applicability and exemption criteria. Let us quickly look at it. The applicability is, this section is going to be applicable for companies for all procurements from only micro and small businesses. It is applicable for all the companies covered under tax audit and businesses preparing books of account and filing ITR 3. The exclusions are, so we saw three segmentation: micro, small and medium. MSMEs under medium category businesses are not included, whose net investment in plant and machinery or equipment is less than or equal to 50 crores and net turnover less than or equal to 250 crores, even though they are registered under Udyam. Second, traders, retailers and wholesalers, even if they are registered under Udyam, are not included for this section. Next, this section is not applicable for those taxpayers opting to presumptive taxation who are filing return under ITR 4, as under this section the need for maintenance of books of accounts is not mandated. Lastly, it is not applicable towards purchase of capital assets. If a business is procuring any capital asset from an MSME and any outstanding to MSME on account of purchase of these capital assets, even if the outstanding is beyond the stipulated time, this is not going to be applicable. A cursory glance at section 43B subsection H. This section was introduced through Finance Act 2023. This will be effective from 1st of April 2024 and applicable for the assessment year 24-25, which means it will be applicable for the financial year 23-24, the current year. Expenses, purchase of goods or services related to MSME procurement can be claimed as part of profit and loss account only when the payment is made on or before the stipulated timeline we just now understood. If the amount is outstanding, the value of the expenses will be added back to income of the company. On subsequent payment, the expenses can be claimed in the subsequent years. This is going to greatly impact tax liability of the companies in case of default. Let us take a use case to understand the impact on profitability. The table here provides the bills outstanding as on 31st of March 2024. The first invoice date is 10th of January. Their bill amount is 5 lakhs. Credit period is agreed. They have purchased goods. As per the agreement, the credit days is 60 days, but whereas the maximum credit period as per MSME is 45 days, which means the due date of payment falls on 24th of February for the entire amount. The second invoice is dated 5th of March. The amount is 2 lakh. There is no credit period agreement. The nature of purchase is procurement of services. No credit agreed, which means the maximum credit period is 15 days. The due date falls on 21st of March. So as on 31st of March, both these bills are pending or outstanding. The total value of outstanding is 7 lakh. Now what is going to be the impact of this as per the section 43BH? If you take your P&L account, let us say the company's net profit declared for the financial year 23-24 is 3 lakhs. And now since both the bills are outstanding, both this amount has to be added back to the income. So non-payment value of MSME supply beyond the stipulated deadline, goods worth 5 lakhs and services worth 2 lakh. The total amount added back is going to be 7 lakh. Now the company has to pay income tax on 10 lakhs. This amount of 7 lakhs on payment to MSME, the expenses can be claimed in the subsequent financial year 24-25. So these are the two important aspects that we have to keep in mind as far as the MSME payment information is concerned. I hope this session would have given you a brief understanding of the nitty-gritties related to MSME's delayed payment and also the new section that is introduced, 43B subsection H, so that especially companies under MCA or filing returns through ROC is very important and very critical, because we also understood the form MSME 1 and the requirement aspect of it. In the next video, we will dive into Tally and then see what is the solution the Tally is provided, how we can configure these aspects, and how we can leverage this report for better reporting for our financial statement. So, thank you all once again for staying till the end. See you all in the next session. Thank you very much.